Hello, Transurfer and the Transurfing Curious. My name is Renee Garcia, and this is TransurfingTV, and I'm going to go back to the basics on this one. I'm going to do a video on the mirror world. I'm actually going to draw out my visual representation of how the mirror world works. I know there are a lot of new people coming to this channel, coming to the Facebook group, hearing me on podcasts. You never have heard of transurfing before. And a lot of my newer videos are actually me just like riffing off the concepts in my own practical kind of way. So if you want to learn the concepts, like the core concepts, you can go back and look at some of the playlists where I really describe like the core concepts, which are the alternative space, pendulums, defeating pendulums, the wave of fortune, the induced transition, heart and mind, goals and doors, slides, signs. There's a number of other ones, but those are the pretty big ones. So a lot of my videos really are just talking about how to utilize these concepts in a pragmatic way. But again, a lot of my earlier videos, I go over the concepts in a pure way. I'm going to start throwing in some of these lessons too, because I realize that there are a lot of new people coming. So today is going to be one of those days, y'all. Now remember to like my video and comment below. My world is taking care of me to enter my daily giveaway for my reprogramming stickers. I'm starting to sound like one of those people that do it on the end of the commercial where they talk super fast. And Reality 2.0, if you really want to learn the core concepts, that is the way. There's a bunch of bonus courses in there, the Mo Money, the Becoming Magnetic, but all the core concepts are there, and they are good and they are hard hitting. So with that, the mirror world. So the mirror world is really about what we present to our reality gets returned back to us like a boomerang. So really the boomerang is us throwing into reality our thoughts, our frequency, our actions, and then that boomerang returning to us, or the mirror reflecting back to us what we are presenting to the mirror. So as Vadim Zeland states, the world is doing nothing other than reflecting back our attitudes and beliefs towards it. And God, isn't that the truth, y'all? So what I like to envision is that here is me, right? And I'm happy. Okay, I'm happy. And the reason that I'm happy is because I have decided that I am going to only let positive information and material and positive evidence to support positive theories into my layer of reality. Now, what that is that's in form of a slide. Okay, this is the slide I've created. So the slide I've created for myself is that my world's taking care of me and things are going well, and I have many fun little successful businesses that I run, and I have a nice reality, I have a nice house, I have nice friends, I have a nice community, I have nice things that I can give, to people that help people. And this is the type of stuff that my slide is made up of. Okay, so when I create this slide for myself and I manage to just have on there what is really in line with those intentions that I just stated, making certain that I limit what negative information or ideas I allow into my slide. This could be feelings of low self-worth, or oh, the world's going to hell, or oh, the political crisis is gonna, whatever. So you make that your slide. That's what's going to come out of you, your attitudes and beliefs, right? But now my slide has all the things that I just spoke of, all the parts of my reality that I like, that I want, my theories, right? My theories about myself and my reality. So my slide is comprised of these different things, and through this slide, I then highlight material, evidence, and information that's in line with exactly what my slide is. It's as simple as that. That layer of reality then produces exponentially, if I can keep my eye on the ball and remember what's valuable to me and my reality, my layer of reality, I can exponentially increase all the stuff that I need to support this slide. So this, and how it comes back, is via the mirror. So I see my reality through this slide, my attitude, my beliefs, my opinions about myself and my environment, my relationship to it. And then the slide crystallizes via exactly what I put out, then getting reflected back to me via my mirror. So the cool thing is that the more you live in this and the more you embellish this and you're able to maintain this and believe in it, you start to attract more and more and more and more exactly what you need to make this crystallize. And it really is a practice of habit and consistency. So that's why this book works. And the mirror and the slide really is another way of saying projecting onto that film frame, right? So if you've read this book, it's the same thing. You have your film reel, which is reality. You have that end goal, right? That's this. That's your future frame if you're looking at it from the Tufte perspective. And then you're going to project what you need to onto your current frame that's going to pull that reel along until you reach that end frame that is your goal. That's exactly what a slide is. So the more you can manage this slide here, the more you can feel it, live it, breathe it, sense it, see it, hear it, taste it, the more you live in it, right? A lot of people say, well, how many times a day should I play my slide and for how long? And you know, these questions to me, it's really whatever works for you, but this should become your reality. This is not something that you sit and go, okay, well, it's time to play my slide. This is your reality. You're just living that reality prematurely. And then your mirror helps that reality crystallize. So remember, how it crystallizes exactly is when you live this version of reality. Whatever version you choose, you are resonating at the frequency of that variation of reality, okay? Your thoughts are going to be in line with that variation of reality, right? Because you're living in it prematurely. And then you're going to act through that slide. So let's say that you want to become something. Let's say you want to become, a business owner of some type. Okay, so you first of all believe that that variation of reality exists. Okay, then you're going to envision it to the best of your ability. What does this look like exactly? Once you've formed a mental image of that variation of reality, you are going to resonate at that frequency more and more and more because it's become more familiar to you. You've defined it, you've created it, you've started to imagine what that's like, what it feels like, what it sounds like, what it tastes like, whatever it is, and you're going to start resonating, okay? Then your thoughts are going to really just be playing out through that slide. When you think through that slide. You act as if. When you act as if, stuff starts to pop up via your mirror in your reality that you can then act on. So if you say, I'm going to be a small business owner, and this is what it sounds like, looks like, feels like, you start resonating at that frequency. You're thinking in that manner, you're thinking in that direction, and then you're starting to slowly take actions. Maybe at first it's just your thinking, but then all of a sudden your mirror responds to you, and your mirror responds to you back in some way that shows you a little bit of evidence that you're in line with your slide, and then you can act on it. So maybe that's you seeing a retail space available for rent, right? And you're like, oh, well, I've been planning my business. Here's a retail space available for rent. So then you can act on it, and you act through that slide, doing the things that version of you should be doing to get or see that result. Again, very in line with the Tufte book, right? So the mirror is just going to respond back to you, your attitude, beliefs, and actions. Okay, so if you believe you're a loser, you have a poor attitude, and you act like somebody that's not going anywhere, you are going to highlight that sector of reality. Your mirror is going to present back to you more information, material, and evidence to support that theory that you have created about yourself. And that is the layer of reality that you are going to live in until you decide to create a new slide, a new theory, a new end frame, right? Once you do that, then you start resonating, thinking, and acting through it in the direction of your mirror, and your mirror shoots back at you confirmation or other things that you can act on, or other information you can use as evidence to support this slide. So I know this was originally just about the mirror, but it ended up being about so much more. Let me know your thoughts on this, everybody. And remember to like this video, comment below, and subscribe to Transurfing TV. Thank you so much for watching my video, everyone. Bye.